Hi, and welcome to the first of 7 lessons on search engine optimization, the easy way to generate traffic, build relationships, and make sales conversions. My name is Joey Lowe, and I've been performing SEO for a little over 10 years. As I introduce you to this exciting strategy for increasing marketing success on the internet, please keep in mind that search engine optimization is only a strategy for delivering your message. If your message doesn't provide a compelling and actionable reason for people to visit and purchase from you, or if your message is confusing, all the SEO tactics in the world won't help you. So, let's get started. As with any new venture, there are certain terms and definitions that have to be established up front in order to keep everyone focused on what we are doing. You will quickly learn that there are many different definitions of what is and what is not SEO. Since this is a basic introductory course, our definition includes any method used by designers, programmers, and copywriters to improve site ranking. Let's take a second and look at an analogy. I compare the internet to that of a large filing cabinet and individual websites to that of file folders. Of course, it is then reasonable that individual web pages can be compared to items found within a file folder. With that analogy in place, it is also easy to see that if you don't properly classify and index those websites and web pages, they will never be found on the internet. Another analogy I make is that I compare search engines such as Google or Yahoo to that of a file clerk. Can you imagine the confusion and frustration a file clerk would experience if the boss asked for a specific file on a specific subject and the file clerk went to the filing cabinet and couldn't find exactly what the boss wanted? Likewise, I'm sure that you will understand the boss's frustration when the file clerk brings back a folder that doesn't give the boss what he or she asked for. This is exactly the case with the internet and search engines, and it is your job as an SEO consultant to properly label that website or web page so that the search engine, i.e. the file clerk, can properly index and later find the content within. So, to summarize, the definition we're going to use for search engine optimization is the refining of website content for the purpose of allowing correct indexing by search engines. And we will use several tools for conducting this research. I've listed some of the more popular tools here, but be aware that there are commercially available software packages that range in price from several hundred to several $1,000s that will assist you in performing your job as an SEO consultant. Either way, you will quickly learn that the search engines and a basic spreadsheet will quickly become your tools of choice. And if spreadsheets and keyword tools are the methods by which you develop your SEO campaign, then the search engines are the test. After all, search engines are what your clients and your clients' customers will use to find information. Never forget that no matter what tactics and strategies you use at the end of the day, if the search engine fails to rank your project, then your efforts failed. It goes without saying then that the first step you will always perform is an initial search engine results page to identify a benchmark of your current project so as to measure the results of your efforts. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, it takes more than SEO tactics to move a site up the list. Designers will help with the navigation and ease of use, such as presentation methods, while the copywriters will deliver the meat and potatoes of the message. All work must be in unison to succeed on any project. And we can't forget good old common sense and intuitiveness. This is the most important of all tools and forms the basis of any successful SEO program. If the goal is established up front, then it becomes real easy to implement a successful program. If the goal is unclear, then the SEO program will fail. This is most important. Never forget that while SEO tactics and strategies are used to assist a search engine with ranking a site, the end result must also consider the human interface. In other words, after all tactics and strategies are implemented, the final result must still pass muster with the person performing the search. This is a variable that is a science unto itself, but suffice it to say that if you use a little common sense and present your message in a compelling and actionable manner, you can easily convince any person to click on your site link. Remember, you're a specialist, and your mission is to improve site ranking, which means more visitors and more sales. Never lose sight of the ball. And I assume that you will fall into one of two categories. You're either a person wanting to implement these strategies into your own site, or you're a professional wanting to add these services to your business model. Either way, you're entering into a field of specialists, and you must act accordingly. Your mission will always be to improve site ranking, so never lose sight of the mission. You want more visitors, and more importantly, you want more sales conversions. Our next couple of lessons will cover this in more detail. For now, I want to introduce you to the concept of problem statements. Stated another way, what are people searching for? The SEO specialist will look for markets that are being underserved, those markets that already contain high organic traffic and low to non-existing solutions, such as your competitors. There are commercially available tools that will help you identify these markets. Some are free, others are subscription based, and they all have one thing in common. They will tell you what search terms people are entering into a search engine, and they will tell you how many times that phrase was entered. This basic information forms the basis of all SEO campaigns. And any successful SEO program begins with the problem statement identification and advances from a basic seed word up to and through clustering. There's an old saying that goes like this: build it and they will come. What this means is that most companies have built their businesses by developing a product and then going out and marketing their product to the world. They use advertising methods that encourage and sometimes even misrepresent their products as a must-have item. This philosophy will not work on the internet. Here's why. People use the internet to find out information, and typically people are searching for reliable information that is also free. The idea that you can build a website that extols your product or service and then expect people to simply come to your site and buy your product is ludicrous. It simply won't happen. The build it and they will come mentality does not apply. But there is a better way. Instead of developing your product first, it is much easier to identify a market first and then build your solution to meet the needs of a market. To do this, we will perform the steps listed above. We will identify the problem, we'll determine the market size, we'll research our competition, we'll build our product, and then we'll promote our product using advanced SEO tactics. In the next two lessons, we're going to explore in more detail problem statements and competitive research. Then we will examine some specific SEO tactics and tools that you will use on a daily basis. Finally, we will work through an actual SEO project designed to implement the strategies mentioned here. Yes, there are plenty of methods and different ways of using SEO. Some of these ways involve advanced programming techniques, and other ways rely on content. No matter which path you choose, remember that your goal is to convince a person that your solution is the solution they need, and the only way to do that is to provide them with specific, relevant, credible information that is both compelling and actionable. If you do this, your products and projects will always succeed. I'm Joey Lowe, and I can be reached at any of the places shown here, and I do invite you to join my mailing list at iSalesWriter, since I often provide additional tactics and strategies completely free of charge. Thanks, and I'll see you next time.